Hi everyone, welcome to the second part of our Thomas Kinkade picture. We did the willows and the sky last time, and today we are going to start, I think, on the castle and the island. Now the castle's quite a sort of hazy purpley grey colour with some orangey yellow lights and red and blue flags. So I think what I'm going to do is start with the vibrant colour first. So I'm going to go with the red flags and just get those in. And so those are quite simple. They're so small that I can't really, rose red. They're so small that I can't really do much with them apart from just colour them in. I'm just checking the colours, as I go, because I realise that one is blue. Strangely, I don't know why, but we'll do it blue because it sort of matches. I'm going to use the ocean blue because I think it's quite a close colour. It doesn't want to. There we go. Okay. Excuse me. Now we have the windows I'm going to do. Now most of these are there's some orange at the bottom and then yellow. It might be tricky for you to see. So I'm going to go with the orange first and do that at the bottom of the windows. This one hasn't got them, but as soon as we move to these, there's a dab of orange. Gosh, they're small. Oh, hit my head on the camera then. Those are black. These have got a bit of orange. This one has. Those are black. Those look almost red, but orange in there. Okay, and then we need some yellow. I use the orangest yellow, which is the sunflower yellow. Sorry, I don't know if you can see. And just finish them off. So these are yellow here. Gosh, so tiny. That was very weird. I had movement. I'm here on my own. This must be next door. Their front door is really near this wall, so it's probably that. Yeah, I think that's all of them. I'm just checking. Okay, now we have roofs. Now they're slightly red, reddish purple. I'm thinking maybe this sort of passion fruit red where we're not like a really dark red. And just doing a little bit and then maybe going over with some of the purple as well. Maybe. We'll see. So I'm just trying to copy this. It seems to just be red on there a little bit. This one's got a lot more red on. I'm going to do the whole thing. And it's a lot darker on this side. I can hear a little bird singing. It's nice. I doubt you'll hear it. It's really quiet. And then a bit in here is paler. But there's a sort of dark shadow there. And there's a pattern, a little band on this tower there. And then a bit on the edge of that roof there. Not so much on that side. The whole of this bit. But not those tarry bits are in there. This roof, yeah, but it's darker. This roof is darker on the side facing us and a bit lighter on that side. And then this roof, it's sort of just a little bit like that. And this tower has got a little bit of red on as well. But sort of more on this side, and it's quite bitty. It's not a solid bit. That'll do. Just realised that looks more like a rock and it carries on behind there. Oh well, we'll sort it out. Okay, so that's quite bright compared to the picture, but yeah, it is what it is. Now I need some sort of purple. Now we use that sort of lavender for the sky, and I think this could be a very similar colour. So I might just grab that lavender. Oops, trying to just find it again. There it is. And I probably go over the whole castle in this lavender, including the roof, not the windows, if I can help it, because it's got this sort of distant, faded, purpley, mountainy look to it. Distant building, I don't know. Anyway, and put a layer of purple, and then we're gonna. Is that plants? Is it slightly green? I think it is. Oh, there's a bit of red there that I missed. I'm just pretending I didn't. And here we go. That tower's a bit light. Ah, dustmen are here. I can hear them. I say dustmen, it's very old fashioned. There are ladies too. Refuse collectors is the correct term, isn't it? I shall have to go, and I'm going to do that. Just going to make it easy for myself. Now, with the darker areas, I think I'm going to try the charcoal grey. It is quite a dark pencil, but I think I can get away with it. So what I'm doing is I'm going to start on this side, and I'm going to look at all the areas that are a bit darker and add the darker colour. Oh, you might hear them, even though I'm out the back and they're out the front. Quite noisy. See, some of these areas are quite black. It's quite nice to do it in a grey rather than a sort of black. It doesn't look quite so dirty. You try and get the black around the windows because then they shine out more. I've got a line there that doesn't exist. I'm just gonna think I'll put a bit of black there. Now here, this isn't quite as dark, probably because it's more forward, but it's still got some shadow going on here. And then these windows are quite dark. We have a bit of a line, emphasize that. I will do this greenery later. Now this whole bit here is dark. Oh, the sun's coming out again. We'll see how it fares. My husband fitted this blind for me the day before yesterday, and he was desperate for me to try it out, but I don't want to shut the sun out unless I absolutely have to. So while it's reflecting on the other side, so I think it's okay. But you'll have to let me know in the comments what you think, if you would rather I did shut the blind. This one's quite dark, this building. I know we've got that little one in front. I'm just going to concentrate on this one. I haven't done the roof. Just remembered that. I think I need to do a bit more there. And this bit. Just dull that down a bit. It's too dark. Too light, I mean. There we go. Now. And this roof here. Now this little building, it's also quite dark, isn't it? I think I'm gonna take some artistic license and just fade it to the edge so that there's a defined, so you can see it like that. And some of these bits are lighter, so we'll just pop in some darker bits. I'm just fiddling really. Now we want some darkness in here so that we can see that this bit's in front. This looks like it's just dark on that side. There we go, and the roof. That bit of roof is really quite dark. We'll just sort of do that. Actually, this is really dark, isn't it? We'll make it dark there because it's set back from that other bit of the tower. We'll do it like that and do a dark line there, and then you can see the 3D a bit more. Down here, this one's a bit darker. And down there. We've got a bit of dark under here. What's going on with the roof? There. A bit on the chimneys, whatever they are. That bit's light. That bit's a little bit darker, but not massively. See, now we've got that bit's catching the light, so we don't need to do anything with that. But we need to start thinking about this. So this top bit seems to be darker, and then this bottom, this bit here, and then this side of this pillar. It's all making sense if you think about it so far. Now the insides of those are light, and in between is dark, like that. This is all quite dark, this bit facing us. That's it, and we've got a little bit of odd dark shapes in here too. Okay, this roof is sort of dark there and there, and underneath. There we go. Now you could overemphasize the lighter sections with your white, but I'm not. I'm quite happy. I'm going to leave that. I don't want to fiddle with it anymore because I might spoil it. I'm actually quite pleased with how it's come out. And you could use your, but we just could do these plants. And I'm going to do them in this, no, I'm not. I'm going to use the Fern Green to do them. Then they're different to our willow. There we go. Now, how do they look compared with this greenery? Different. Okay, we'll leave that. So we've got our island, and down here we've got a little bit of land. Just trying to look for the right sort of colour. It's a strange colour, isn't it? I can't even get my head around what colour it is. I'm going to use this. This is called burnt ochre. It's slightly brown. I think it looks slightly reddy sandy colour. The pictures, that's what I'm going to use. And I'm going to use the same for the island, which is here. And I realise its colour changes, but I'm just going to slightly fade along. That's a stone, but it's actually the same colour. What's that there? That's a bit of grass. Oh yeah, we'll just put a bit there. Okay. So we need some white, we'll leave that. We need reds, we'll do the reds next. What sort of red, should we use the same, yeah. We'll use the same red as the flag and then it'll sort of tie in, I think. So this is the rose red, it also just seems to be the right red, I'm thinking. Now if you look here, we've got some red flowers here. So I'm just going to dot. And then white, so we'll leave that. And then here, this is all sort of red. So I'm just sort of dotting in. I find it quite tricky because we haven't got the dots drawn, we've just got a whole space there. So just doing the best I can. Now we've got some white ones coming up. Up here we've got a few red, I guess we'll just follow that even though it's not in the right place. Down here there's a pink, there's a little bit of red under here. I'm just going to dot a little bit. These are sort of white, yeah, these are pink. We'll use the pink, but I want a reddy pink. which I don't really have. We used the old passion fruit red. It's a more pinky red colour. Maybe it's more browny red, but never mind. We're doing it now. Put a bit in there as well. Just because I want to, not because we should. Okay, now we need quite a light green for up here, but our tree is that sort of green. I think I'll just grab something that's slightly different. My little tiny Pear Green. You'll have to believe me, you can't see. Unfortunately it broke a few times in my sharpener, which is why it's looking a little bit sad. But I'm just going to put a bit of that there as well. It's a lovely colour. And we need a slightly darker green. I think we'll use the moss rather than the fern green, so we've got a different shade. Now I can try and leave those white dots for the white flowers here. Most of the green looks quite similar. Tempted to just do this the same colour. Excuse me. I think those are rocks. We'll do a darker colour for that. Oh, whoops. I want the forest green, it needs a sharpen. Oh, there we go, forest green. And I'm doing this sort of up and downy movement because these are the flower sort of stems, and they do sort of look like that. Trying to work out, there's no green over here, it's just sort of island, but for some reason we've got bits drawn in. I'm going to put a bit in between here because we don't want white paper. What's that? I think that's another red bit. Got rocks. I'm going to do these this green because there's some, they look like mossy rocks. Oh, just doing it all the same. Now those are white. So you get the white pen. Oops, and do some white splodging. Again, for the reason to make it look like we've done something, rather than just ignored it. There we go. Now we can, let's have a think, water. Now, yeah, let's go for water. So we're going to start with the ocean blue. I'm just going to scribble with it to see what it looks like. Right, the ocean blue is the colour for here, look. I think. Like that, yeah, and then we have got a bit of it here. I might use these guidelines actually. Like that. I'm sort of trying to do that bit, which looks to me like it's sort of this colour. I'm going to actually ignore those guidelines. Some of this up here looks this colour. I'm just going to do a bit like that. A little bit over here, just those few bits there. But I think might be the odd bit. I just draw on the boat. Don't draw on your boat. The rest are different shades. So that's the start. I'm just going to erase where I drew all over the boat. That needs to be wood, not blue. Right, I've not seen blue wood. Maybe you have. So I'm next going to try and get this darkest, this blue. Okay, and I think the Aegean Blue might be right. We haven't got a load of blues, so I'm just trying them out. Maybe the Ultramarine Blue is the dark blue. Whoops. Oh dear, getting in the muddle. Bear with me. No, that's purple. Yeah, the Aegean Blue is going to work, I think, for some of this. But this has got a lot of pinky bits going on over here. So I'm going to do a little bit of this here. You can see it's quite purpley, so sorry, it's Ultramarine Blue. And I think it's going to just be lines like this, and then we're going to put in the pink, that sort of very pale pink colour, which I don't have. It's going to be a challenge. Now here we've got a bit, it's challenging because the book's bent. I could let's try and write a bit flatter. I think part of the problem is that there is a crease in the actual cover at that point. Anyways, let's carry on. Right, we've got those flowers in our way there. I'm thinking a bit more of this here. Start to get darker here around the flamingos. It's difficult behind them, but we'll get there. So just sort of being quite vague at the moment. Get some colour down really, and then get thinking. We'll move. I'm going to leave that for now. I'll come back to that in a bit. So we're going to go back up top and think about this pink, and then I need my palest pink, which I think is this one. I'm just going to scribble. Yeah, this is the pink Macaron. Oh, okay, and this is what we're going to use. These pink bits, so that has got a little bit of pink but not too much, and then we've got little bits of pink here and there, and then this is our big sort of pinky area. I know this pink is a little bit orange compared to what's in the picture, which is what I've got. It's just what I've got to work with. Like that, a few bits here and there, and that's probably our pink done. We've got white bits in between, which is what we want. Now I'm thinking I need to sort of just finish off the water, and I'm actually going to grab this Robin Egg Blue and try and sort of fill in the gaps, as it were. Quite bright and pretty. So, sorry, I'm concentrating. I'm not talking enough, am I? I'm just filling in all these little spaces in between. And what we're going to do is I'm contemplating whether we should sort of smudge it like we did the sky, which I think might be the easiest idea. This isn't really the right colour blue, is it? But anyway, we're using it now. We'll get another one in a minute. Or whether I need to do something a bit different with it than I did with the sky. I think I'm going to leave that there with that one. Yeah, I think the Periwinkle Blue might be the better colour, particularly for these areas that are predominantly blue. And I'm still thinking, would you use the white? Would you keep it quite liney? You know, it looks liney in the picture. I think this might be enough to bring it together actually, this blue. Especially if I white out those waves, because we need a bit of white, particularly here. So again, I'll be doing a little bit of whiting out. But like here, there's quite a white bit in the picture. So we need a bit there. Sorry, I've got to wipe my nose. Oh, my pencil's rolled underneath my book. That wasn't the plan. Oh dear. Never mind. So what can I tell you about while we're putting blue on paper? I'm not really sure. I'm thinking of putting a different pink on here before we finish this bit. Maybe the slightly pinkier pink. Does that make sense? No. I'm trying to work out where we go with this. Is that all the way down there? Because obviously we need to make sure we do go behind these plants and flowers and things. These flamingos are quite funny, aren't they? I've not seen this film. I don't remember, because I've seen this is the Little Mermaid too, isn't it? I've seen the Little Mermaid, and I remember the sort of crab. Right, that's a little bit there. But I don't remember any other critters. I certainly don't remember there being a castle or anything, but I guess she's a princess, so I guess she moves to a castle. I'm guessing. That's what usually happens. When you're a princess, you have to move to a castle, don't you? That's the law, isn't it? When you marry the prince, you move to his castle. That's why we all want to marry a prince. I want to own a huge castle. I don't think I'd want to live in a castle. It'd be very cold. All that stone, I think, would be really cold. Imagine the dust that would come off the bricks all the time. Oof. And yeah, the cost of heating it. Crikey. I think that would be a bit mad. But maybe maybe you don't need to worry about that if you're a princess. And cleaning. How would you clean the cobwebs off the ceilings? They're so high. Maybe again, that would be your cleaner's worry, not yours, I guess. But really. No, I guess I'm not thinking properly, because I'm thinking, yeah, I'm a princess, I've got to clean my castle. No, the princess doesn't clean the castle. So, particularly a Disney princess, I guess she just, her fairy godmother waves a wand and someone else cleans it. What do you reckon? I'm just doing a lot of the area in this colour, because I just feel that is quite a good base colour for this water, particularly down here. So I'm just basically filling in all the space. It's a little bit fiddly down here with these plants, but it's okay. So yes, when I was younger, I used to want to live in a big house. I always thought it would be lovely to imagine living in a house where you couldn't see the house from the road. I always thought, and have a nice long tree-lined drive and gravel, you know, like they do in this sort of Highclere Castle, that sort of thing. Wow. But as I have become older and I have to cope with paying bills and things like that, I've sort of changed my mind, really, funnily enough. It's a shell, that. And decided that my humble house, which I'm very lucky to have and is actually a jolly good size, is perfect for us as a family. We've got 4 bedrooms, which is, no, yes, 4 beds. Yeah, I can't even count. So we have the loft converted into a bedroom, which my son has. It is a big room. He does have to have some of our junk in it because he's got all the storage space up there. But it just wasn't quite right for a double bed because of the slope of the ceiling. We have a double room. We lost a bit of space to put the stairs in for the loft, but and lost our wardrobe, but we've got enough room to store everything, and for our bedside tables, wardrobe, 2 chests of drawers. So, and we've got an ensuite, so very lucky. And my son's got a room which does fit a double bed in, but then nothing else. So he's got a single bed. They both have anyway. That's all they need at the moment. And he's got a big wardrobe in his room, which I use, and of course, and a bedside table and a big bookcase. So, and he used to have this desk in there, but I nicked it. But he didn't use it anyway. He just used it to put junk on, so he didn't mind. Right. So now I've done a lot more of the water. I'm going to go over this pink bit next with a pinkier pink. That makes sense. So I'm going to use the Peony Pink, which I think is more pinky. That's it. And just go over the those salmony pink areas with the Peony Pink, like that. Just a few more bits here and there. Okay. Now I want a darker blue to go in with this, and I'm going to go back to the Ultramarine Blue and just add some darker areas. I might use these lines actually as a guide. These, just maybe colour over them and then spread out a bit. I need to make it quite dark behind the flowers. Yes, so those are our bedrooms. Then we have this room, which is a single bedroom, which we use as an office. It's actually on the same floor as the sitting room, so it's quite convenient for me doing my art in here, because it's right next door to where I normally do my art if I'm not recording. So that's useful. I'm just going to use these lines as a guide. And yeah, our sitting room is a lounge diner, so we have sort of twice, so we have a fire in one, a log burner actually on one side, and our sofa and TV and my desk, and then the other side used to be our dining room and have our dining table, but we my husband and my children all have their desks in there, so they do their whatever they're doing, playing Minecraft, making Minecraft videos. Well, not my husband, kids, you know, that sort of thing. And so yeah, and then downstairs on the ground floor we have a bit of a garage, which most of it is now our kitchen. We extended into the garage. I'm not going to go too far up with this dark colour, but I do think I need a few more bits of it like that, because it looks a bit weird. So I'm just making it up until I feel that it looks right. Oh, need a bit in there. It starts to make me laugh. I'm just seeing, we've got some water in there too. Okay. We need to do, actually it's quite dark down there. I'm going to have another look at that in a minute. I don't think it's necessarily water. I think it's quite black, isn't it? Maybe I will do it as water. I think we need a few bits of this in here as well. It's quite dark there. Now I'm going to sharpen up and actually do some quite dark areas down here, because some of them look black down here. Look, I need to hold the page, just push you up a bit. Just realise you haven't been able to see what I'm doing. I'm really sorry. Gosh, that's terrible. How much have we missed? Yes, so we made our kitchen a bit bigger, which was good, so we can fit a table in there so we don't have to eat upstairs. It used to be a bit of a nuisance carrying. We had a breakfast bar, so if it's two of us we didn't, but if you had guests you have to carry your food upstairs. A bit strange. So we just extended the kitchen space. Our neighbour has the opposite layout to us in his house, and he wants to, instead of extending his kitchen into the garage, which he uses as a workshop, he wants to move his kitchen upstairs into this room that I'm in now, the little office. I think it'd be quite... he's talking about knocking through all the walls on the whole floor and then making a sort of lounge kitchen on the first floor. But he hasn't done it yet. He's been talking about it for years. Quite a big job though, and he wouldn't be able to do it on his own, because although he's a carpenter, he'd have to get an electrician and a plumber and things, and I expect. So it's not easy. Right, I'm going to sort of start to make it a bit lighter now. Okay, right, now I'm going to put some white in the water. We've got patches of white. It needs my Posca. And what I'm going to do to start with is white out the lines that are drawn in the water that I don't like. And what is interesting is, because it's quite pale, the background, they just vanish. You can't see the white and you can't see the line. Now here we have quite a lot of white, so I'm going to try and put down a bit more. It's not really going to show up that well. Just need to shake up my pen. And just keep erasing all the lines. It's almost like I'm using an eraser. They just sort of vanish. It's quite funny. Now I don't think this would happen on all books. This is quite a faint line, and the way I've coloured it means there's quite a lot of white paper showing through, so it just sort of fades into that. And as the pen dries, you can still see it a little bit. Now I know a lot of people want to know the secrets of getting rid of the white lines and things like that. It's really tricky, to be honest. Some people paint white paint all over the page first to fade the black lines, but then I've tried that and it was a disaster. I couldn't see it, so then I didn't know what I was doing. So that's tricky. Some pens are apparently better than others at doing it. It takes a long old time as well, so that's worth considering. I quite like seeing the guidelines in most circumstances, like on the castle there. Quite happy. I'm just trying to make this water look like it's got some white in it really, and I just happen to use these lines as as the areas. But yeah, it's not an easy thing to achieve. I know a lot of people really struggle with it, so it's worth watching a few different tutorials, finding out what people do and what pens they might use, whether they do it before or after, because I find that if you do it before and then you colour over it, it scratches off, but if you do it after, then it looks white. So it depends whether you want it to look white or not. Like, I'm happy doing this here and it looking white because that's what I'm after. But and some books I feel would erase better than others as well, so that's always worth thinking about. It's a bit hit and miss sometimes. What's that? That's a rock and I've coloured it as water. Never mind. Did you notice? Why didn't he tell me? I'll see. We can get that sorted out easily enough. I'm not worried about that. We can make it dark, then it won't show. So you could add more layers to the water if you want it to be darker. It's obviously darker in the picture than I've done it. In fact, everything is. But it's completely up to you. I will probably leave it. I say probably because I haven't seen it yet, and not add too much more to it with regards to colours, but you know, never say never. We'll see. I find if I spend too long on one bit of a page, I get bored of the whole page, and then I rush the rest because I just want to finish it, and that isn't good. So I sort of know my limits, and I think, right, I've done enough on that bit, I'll move on, or else I'm going to rush and just want to get it done, which really isn't the right attitude to have. It should be about enjoying the process, so that's now what I do. Oh, we're nearly there. It's taking a long time, isn't it? How long has this video been? Quite long. I'm going to finish it after this, I think, and come back and do the creatures and other bits and pieces. But I shall just finish this with you first. I have been thinking about what books to do from this month. I now had a request for the Ink House. I should do one from there. I'm not really sure. We've got our Ivy page, obviously, that we're working on still. That's a fun one, and those are quite nice and small and quick, which is good. I shall do some of those tomorrow. I haven't got that long tomorrow, but my son's home in the morning, so I shall have to see if he's up for me doing a bit of recording while he's here or not. He should be okay if I shut the door, but sometimes I find I need to be with them to stop my boys, to stop them getting distracted. But we'll see. He's usually the least distracted of the two, so he might be okay. And sometimes he's just in a distractible mood, if you know what I mean. Yeah, he's just not quite up for it. There's quite a lot of white here, which is why I haven't done so much blue colouring under this bit of the boat. I think I had a bit of cup of tea left. It's going to be a bit cold, isn't it? Oh well, I drink it cold. Quite used to cold tea. I think most mothers are. Get used to cold drinks. Oh, the baby's asleep. I'll go and make a cup of tea. By the time it's cool enough to drink, the baby's awake again. Especially when you have twins. But at least you go through it all at the same time. You know, we've only had 2 children both at the same time, so we had all the sleepless nights and all the different phases at near enough the same time. It made it difficult at the beginning when nobody was getting any sleep, but it's easier later. Okay, let's have a look. Whoops. I'm going to pull that into shot. Oh, I just knocked a pencil on the floor with my elbow. That was good. There we go. So there's, it's looking a little bit scruffy, I should say. So I think I might go in and tidy that up a bit, the water. Now I've sort of sat back and look at it, but I am going to stop now and come back to it another time. Okay, so thank you for watching, and tune in again for the next instalment, and happy colouring.